Before we get started on this video, I have something so important to say, and that is thank you. Thank you to everyone who has been supportive, but really, I want to say thank you to all of the flight attendants who have met me since I've come back and have just introduced themselves, told me about how my videos made a difference when they were starting this career. And honestly, I've had conflicted feelings about my content before, and knowing that my intention to create a channel that was living life authentically and sharing this career authentically, like, made such a difference in your career that you said hi to me at the airport. Like, honestly, I'm so grateful. Like, it felt like all of the things that I did before were all worth it because I got to meet you, and all of you have been so incredibly kind and lovely. And I hope that that's the spirit that this channel continues with, because it was the best surprise. Every time someone's said it to me, it's been like an incredible surprise. And if you see me at the airport, let me know, because I've loved meeting each and every one of you in fly gals and guys in the airport. All right, let's get started. Hey, um, I've been really nervous to make this video for a very long time, but here we are. We're doing it. It's not like I haven't been filming, vlogging, and editing videos for the last year. If you're new here, my name's Megan. I used to be a flight attendant YouTuber, and then I shared about my experience going to graduate school in Costa Rica, and then doing some research in Chile, and then life in Costa Rica. And then I was like, I'm deleting everything. And since that's happened, yeah, I'm a flight attendant again. I feel very uncomfortable making this video, but we'll get into that. And I've decided to do a full face of makeup because I'm gonna ask my fiance to go on a date with me today. So let's do our makeup with some eco-friendly beauty finds and talk about what's happened in life, the channel, all of those things. Let's get started. Okay, so if you've been a long-term watcher, thank you. Some of you have found me on Instagram, TikTok, checked in on me. Um, really grateful. That was so kind. A kindness I never expected, and honestly, it was very inspirational to me, because back then I felt like I wasn't worth a lot of kindness, and so that was really something special to receive. So thank you. And there have been comments on this channel that were like, are you ever going to go back to flying? I miss your flying vlogs. Um, Things of that nature. Very understandable. This channel was for almost 5 years straight up a flight attendant channel. It wasn't a travel vlog channel. It wasn't like a lifestyle channel. It was all about being a flight attendant. And that I felt very trapped in that narrative, and in that niche. But you guys have been asking, will I ever go back? And if you had asked me in 2024, I would have said, probably not. If you had asked me in 2023, I would have said, absolutely not. If you had asked me in 2022, I would have said never again. And I'm sure there's something on this channel where I've said never again. And here we are. I'm back to being a flight attendant. And I don't know how much detail I should go into, but basically I was, putting it nicely, a stay-at-home girlfriend for almost a year when I came back from Chile. And that was just because I was doing the whole interview process, but I was also being really realistic about what flying, but I was also being really realistic on what the industry looked like. I had gotten to experience the sustainable travel industry in the United States, in Costa Rica, as well as Chile, in various capacities. Like, obviously, I'm not a tour operator. I was in a research capacity, but I did talk to lots of operators. I talked to local governments. I talked to lots of different people involved, and I had to be really realistic with myself. Like, where was I going to take this? Am I going to stay international? Am I going to go to the US? Am I going to go to research? And I love being in research. I love participating in research, but I don't particularly love being on the academic side of things, and that really limits that opportunity. So while I was at home and my partner was so, honestly, it was no big deal to him. While he took care of everything, I was applying for jobs. I actually interviewed for 5 different positions. I got like to the last round on multiple of them, and I just wasn't picked. And with this job market, especially the sustainable tourism market, it's not in the United States, it's not like there's a ton of job opportunities. And there's also not a ton of job opportunities that pay well. So one of the reasons I got into the position of sustainable travel is I actually started with the degree idea of being a solution finder, especially regarding waste. That was my inspiration for going in. That was my inspiration for going into the industry. And with that inspiration, I was like, obviously, I can just go back into aviation and, like, especially work with in flight and figure out solutions for all those paper cups, plastic cups, bamboo. Like, I'd still really love to be involved in that sort of thing. If I This foundation's too dark. This foundation's too dark. Don't judge me. Basically, I had been applying for private sector jobs, public sector jobs. I had gotten various degrees of experience. I had kind of consulted pro bono. And while I was looking for jobs in the aviation sector, how can I marry aviation and sustainability, like I had always envisioned me doing when I first applied for my degree, I found out that they were hiring flight attendants at a company that I had always wanted to work for. Like, it was the airline I wanted to work for. Like, the airline I used to work for was not my number one choice. In fact, when I would go back home, people would be like, why would you work for them? I know for people who are like fans of aviation, they'd be like, what? But like, not all airlines rule every part of the country. And the airline I used to work for definitely didn't rule my part of the country where I am from. And so this airline that I always wanted to work for had their applications open for the first time. For the first time at any time I've ever looked on their webpage, it had opened, and it was without intention. I didn't have notifications on. I didn't have anything prepared. And if you know how applying to be a flight attendant works, you'll know how miraculous that was. And I just felt like this instinct in me. I was like, oh my God, I have to apply. I have to apply today. And so I applied. And when my partner came home, I was like, I did something crazy. I applied to be a flight attendant again. And he was like, I thought you didn't want to go back to that. And I was like, I don't really, I think. I was like, what do you think? And he's like, I say, like, apply. Let's see what happens. And I was like, cool. Because that's kind of like who we are as a couple. We're going to, like, go for it. Like, why not? And so I did. I went for it. And that was a really hard year. And I will say, I did apply for every other airline that was open that day because I was like, why not? I did get called back to 2 major US airlines, and one immediately rejected me. I'll let you guess in the comments below which company rejected me immediately. One company even was like, I told them I didn't qualify because of their tattoo policy. After I applied, I went to their info sessions, and like, they were very strict about this tattoo policy. So I was like, oh, well, there goes me. I'm not. And they asked me to remove my tattoo. Like, would I be willing to like laser my tattoo? And I'm like, that's crazy talk. Basically, I just went through the whole interview process. I actually went through the whole interview process with my original airline and with my new airline. And I got hired at both. It was like a week apart. I got hired at both. This is going to be the longest video ever. This is going to be the longest video ever. I'm so sorry. Basically, I got hired. And then I had to come home and I had to be like, okay, what are we thinking here? Like, what do we think about me doing this? And my partner was like, okay, so we're going to do the immigration thing. And I was like, I think we're going to do the immigration thing. In summation, I got hired. I'm back to being a flight attendant. I went to flight attendant training. I vlogged that really poorly, but I vlogged it. And then I have been vlogging my layovers, and I'm actually really excited for this opportunity to use my layovers to kind of talk about traveling sustainability, not necessarily like just like the beauty stuff, which I love. I love beauty is my hobby. I love it. but like really talking about like shopping mom and pop shops. How do we find access to this information? What are some good resources? Just really talking about, you know, what I got a whole degree in. What's going to be different about this channel, and you may have like picked up on that. Oh my God. You may have picked up on that since I started filming, is that this won't just be about being a flight attendant. I just wanted to give you a full update on like career wise, how I got hired, all of that jazz. I want this channel to be focused on me and my life, especially like building a home. My partner and I really didn't think we would stay long at any place we've been at, and we have stayed long. But this place, we know we're going to be here for probably about a year. And we have just decided to start investing little by little in like creating the products, like creating the things we want in our house that like really align with our values. I really want to talk about like what that looks like, because I feel like I am not the only 30 something that had a late start on life and just like decided to live life as opportunities came at them, and now we're working on other goals. I can honestly say that I have accomplished everything I thought I could accomplish. Like high school me would have been like, girl, we've done a lot. And so it's been really freeing as an adult to be like, now's the time to just like figure out what else we want and like being financially responsible about it. Right now, the town we live in, there's no compost, there's no recycling, and we're also in an apartment, which is new for us. We've always had our own house, which is why we've always been able to garden, and why we've always been able to compost. And then the other towns we've lived in had at least recycling. So this is our first time not having any of that available. So this is going to be a whole different like challenge on like how we did sustainability before, making it work for apartment living in this new town. And as you know, I personally struggle with eco guilt, but I live in this space and I choose to be in the space of like, we each have to do our very best. And we also need to understand like sustainability is a holistic approach. And I'm not talking about just saying like there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, which is true, but we still all actively participate in it. And so I choose to participate by supporting small brands that support the values I have. So yeah, I struggle with eco guilt every single day. No biggie, it's fine. We're working on it. This year, I'm really, really focusing on health, and I'm talking like very strict health goals. Like I'm working with a doctor, like we are getting strict about health, because what happened in my first year of flying was exactly what I didn't want to happen. If you know, you know. I can't believe I gained like 20 pounds this year. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I feel like there's something wrong. So this year we are focusing on health and wellness and strengthening all the things I want to do, strengthening my body for all the things I want to do. Like I have like certain health goals I've always wanted to do, and I've always put off because I didn't feel worthy, I didn't feel supported, and like that's just not the case anymore. All right, so as we finish up this video, I just want to talk about how things are just going to be a little bit different this time. You may have been able to get that vibe because I've hinted at it throughout this whole video, but I'm just going to be like really straightforward. I won't be posting in uniform. I will not be posting on the aircraft. There are other people who still vlog like that. It's just not something I want to do. I felt very trapped by that in the past. I felt like I couldn't share anything else. I couldn't create the kind of content I wanted to create because it wasn't popular. And the great thing about coming back is I don't expect any of my stuff to be popular. I just get to enjoy creating again and explore new styles and talk about things that I just want to chat about and really develop that like community aspect that I wanted the first time that I didn't get, because when you do flight attendant content, and I can make a whole different video about this, you are exposed to the algorithms of people who don't necessarily wish the best for you. They have a certain image in their mind and a certain thing they're looking for. And if you are not that, I got comments about my looks, I got comments about my weight, I got comments about all sorts of things, and I got tons and tons of disgusting messages that I just don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. We're going to pause because I need to get my mascara. I am older now. I'm almost a decade older than when I first started doing YouTube, and I'm just a lot more conscious about how the internet works, about what's on the internet, about AI. But I want to be one more person creating like real life content. And when I first started this channel, you know, I was all about being a flight attendant that shared the realities of the job, because that was kind of new back then. Back then, you didn't have people talking about like all the things that went wrong because you could get fired. Like you would just see people who would like sit in their home because like it was really risky to post in uniform too. And they would just be like, I love this job. This job is so cool. And even though I'm going to talk about the job a little bit because it's a part of my life, I am not the job. I don't want to be Megan the flight attendant. I just want to be Megan, who is a flight attendant. But she has lots of other passions and goals and lifestyle things that are just honestly way more interesting than my job. You know? You get it? I know the flight attendants out there get it. And I'm just overall like really excited to create content that is just fun. Like I'm excited to share and learn new techniques and put the time in as a hobby. I don't want this to be my career. I have no intention of being a YouTuber. I just want this to be my hobby. And so that's that. That's all I really wanted to say. I'm sorry that it was really roundabout or I got really chatty in some places. Sometimes it happens. I love this color. If you loved my vlogs where I'm in uniform and on the plane, I'm never putting those back up again. I do hope that you choose to support other YouTubers that are good, in good conscience, making good content. It just won't be for me, like I've said. I'm just really excited to share content that aligns with my values, my life, sharing all the things that are honestly so much more important to me than like where I work. I know that sounds bad. I think this looks good. I think this look is good enough. I was basing my entire makeup look off of this lipstick. I love this. It's the, I do not, yeah, let's practice Spanish. Acari Gaime. Acari Gaime? I'll try it. From Ahora, this is in the shade Vino. I have been trying to figure out a reason to wear this. And I was like, I'm going to ask my partner on a date today. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your support. Honestly, it is a privilege to create. It is a privilege to edit. I hope that I share the beauty of life and the beautiful things of my life and just even the struggles, because I think that there are people who are in my space. I think I mentioned this earlier. I just think that there is space, especially online, to be authentically yourself. And yeah, I guess I'm just excited to share my story where I'm at now, because 30 something Megan is similar but still totally different than 20 something Megan. Thank you so much. If you are not subscribed and this type of content seems like something you're interested in, if you love eco-friendly living, sustainable beauty, making this career work, a health journey, talking about books, like, please, I hope you subscribe. Chat in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're disappointed, I get it. But this is where I'm at in life now, and I'm really, really happy, and I'm really grateful to be here. Like, I am so much healthier now as a person than I was back then that I would never want to go back to that. Either way, thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video.